Well, good afternoon, everyone. Oh, I can't believe we just saw it. Welcome to Facebook Live. I'm Pee Wee Wiggins, and we are streaming today all the way from a northern town called Blackburn in the UK, and we are joined today by multi-Guinness World Records title holder, Mr. Johnny Strange. That was a way to start the show. That is incredible. How you doing?
I'm not too bad, yeah.
Do you always start our introductions with a sword swallowing?
Not always, we want to do them in business.
Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again for all of those, whether you're at home, whether you're on a train, whether you're in the office, wherever you are, we are going to have a great afternoon. I love my job. I've done quite a few Facebook Lives, but this particular one is one that I'm excited about, but also very squeamish about. So, Johnny, once again, multi-Guinness World Records title holder. We'll go through, in fact, off the top of your head, have you got many?
Yes.
In fact, let me just, I've got a full list. I'll put you on a, if you've got any questions, actually, we've got our Facebook Live running. We've got cameraman Ollie behind. Everyone go, hi, Ollie. Hi, Ollie. We've got Ollie behind. Everybody at Guinness World Records HQ, good afternoon. And Johnny Strange. So let me just get, these are a few of the not so normal Guinness World Records titles that Mr. Strange has to his name. Hang on. Now, if you'd like to see more of Johnny, if you've got the 2015, 2016 edition books, we've got Johnny. He's actually in page 104 and page 108 of the 2015. And those titles are the heaviest weight lifted by your ears. That's ridiculous. Where are we? Oh, there you go. You're just... Oh, yeah. In there. So we've got the heaviest weight lifted by your earlobes. Now, obviously, they're pierced ears.
They are, yeah.
Any special knack or trickery or any... What's so special about your ears? Because if somebody flicks my ears, they're sore.
Yeah, well, basically what I did was I stretched them and shrunk them, and I kept doing that. And what that does is every time you stretch your ears, it builds up the scar tissue. And scar tissue is tougher than regular flesh, so you build up enough of it, it's less likely to rip. And that's basically it.
Right, so we're kind of going, and it's my fault, I'm just so mesmerised with everything we've got on the table. We've just been going through a few things. Where did all of this start? We're just looking at your posters to either side of us, and tell us how you got into this. Tell us all about from the beginning.
It sort of happened in school, really. So I started off as a juggler. So I learned how to juggle, showed my friends, and they're like, yeah, it's pretty cool, is that? But can you juggle fire? So, all right, so I went off, I learned how to juggle fire, and then came back, yeah, that's really good, is that? Can you juggle knives? So I went off, and I learned how to juggle knives, came back, and they were like, oh, yeah, it's really good, is that? But can you juggle chainsaws? So I went off, I learned chainsaws, and it just sort of went from there. It just carried on happening, and I kept adding things and learning new things. And
so you, if I'm correct, because I've been stalking Johnny for over the last sort of 48 hours, and now you got started by sort of researching and studying Houdini. Is that correct?
I did, yeah.
And you got into that how?
So my dad told me about him when I was a kid, and he was just like, this guy is well cool, you know, like just what is this guy doing? So just started sort of researching and looking and learning and like picking handcuffs and things like that, and then that, you know, turned into the, you know, entertaining friends and the juggling, and yeah, it just went from that.
Well, what we're going to be going, we're just going to recap on exactly what's going on for a bit. We believe we've got, so those who have just joined us on Facebook Live, very good afternoon, welcome. We're joined by multi-Guinness World Records title holder, Mr. Johnny Strange. We're streaming live from Blackburn, which is in the UK. It's a town north of the UK. And if you just missed it, you may have just missed Johnny swallowing a sword, because that's something that regularly happens here. Now, if you've got any questions that you'd like to ask Johnny, I've got a funny feeling we're going to get streams and streams of questions. Pop them in the comment box below, like us, share us. But as I say, any questions, pop them in, and we'll be trying to get through as many as we possibly can. Obviously, we won't ask Johnny when he's swallowing a sword, but we'll do our best. So this is the sword that you swallowed at the beginning.
Yes, this is the one. So, so for those of you that don't know what sword swallowing is, allow me to demonstrate. I will place the blade at the back of my throat, and hyperextending my esophagus, I'll slowly slide the blade down. It'll push my lungs to either side, nudge my heart to the left, and then rest at the bottom of my stomach.
And when I turned up this morning, I was thinking, I was skeptical, and so if you want to find out more about Johnny, go on his website, go on YouTube, and he does a whole talk on exactly what's going on. And I promise you, these blades are real. Everything you're seeing now is happening, as you're going to see from my face. So this is going all the way down. We've got. So we've got. Wow. Give a round of applause wherever you are.
And if you look just here.
Oh yeah, just look there.
Breakfast.
It's got a little bit of saliva all the way down from wherever Johnny placed it there. So we've just got a question. We've got a few questions. There was one that actually said, are you going to go through your lungs? Now, a question I asked earlier was, how far down can you go? And explain, please.
Basically, rule of thumb is you want to stop just before you die.
I think that's a good tip.
So what it actually does is, it's in my esophagus, and it will sort of nudge my heart and nudge my lungs to the side, out the way, as it makes its way all the way down. When I was first learning, actually, I got stuck around here, so it took me 3 years to learn, so I had to practice every day for 3 years before I finally swallowed my first sword. But about 2.5 years into it, I just kept getting stuck. It was about here, and I couldn't figure out why. And what it was the tip of the sword was resting on my heart through my esophagus. And obviously you can't push it, you can't force it, because let's say I end up in hospital. But yeah, just very carefully and sort of find the right path that you should take and continue.
And once again, obviously I shouldn't have to emphasise, please, do not try this at home. Johnny trained for 3 years to do this. And how long have you been doing this for now?
About 5 years now, something like that.
5 years. Okay, so once again, 3 years of training, and it's self-taught as well.
All self-taught, yeah.
Wow.
There's not many sword swallowers that'll teach you because it's so dangerous.
Which is fair enough. And do you all you sword swallowers? Now, once again, just looking at your website and sort of listening to your talk, there's only a few actually sword swallowers sort of recognised, I guess, in the world. And roughly how many do you know?
There's about 60 sword swallowers alive in the world performing today. The rest are dead. But yeah, there's not many. It really is real. It's dangerous. It's not something to be played around with.
And you're professional at that. So I believe we've got the questions flowing in already. And so the first question we've got from Rajiv. Rajiv, hello, thank you. Have you ever got hurt by doing this stunt? Well, it's a stunt, I guess, but it's also a living for you as well.
It is, yeah. It's my job. But no, I've never been injured sword swallowing. But they said, the old saying is, there's two types of sword swallowers. The sword swallower that's not had an accident, and the sword swallower that's not had an accident yet. So yeah, I expect at some point I may have an accident, but all you can do is same with any sort of job, is just do your best, pay attention and practice and keep practicing and stay on top of it, and hopefully you'll retire before you've had an accident.
And I guess you just don't get complacent. I assume as soon as you get cocky, get complacent, then things start to happen.
Yeah. So yeah, just stay on top of it and just treat it with respect, really.
Yeah, well, thank you for Rajiv for that question. We've got another question here. Can you feel your inner organs while swallowing it?
Another great question.
It's disgusting.
You can actually, yeah. If so once I swallowed the sword.
Oh, I recognise that sword. Is that from? Tell me where that's from.
This sword is apparently the same type of sword that's used in Game of Thrones. Now, I know I'm probably going to get a lot of messages when I say I'm not actually a big fan of Game of Thrones. I don't watch it, but I probably should do. But yeah, it's maybe you recognise it from the Game of Thrones. I don't know. I don't.
Johnny told me earlier, and I was trying to get I know about the Game of Thrones, but I couldn't remember the time. So I apologise for all those Game of Thrones fans out there.
So the question. So, when you swallow the sword, if I lean forward, if the sword's leaning too far forward, as it's pulled out, you can actually feel it resting against my heart, and it moves with the heartbeat. You can feel the heartbeat through the sword. and if it's being pulled out and it's too far up, then you'll actually feel it rattle against the rib cage on its way out, which is really weird.
Wow, that's that feels weird. I'm not even doing it, and I will never do it. So, a question from James. Thank you, James. Do you have a normal day job, or is this your day job?
This is my job, yeah. This is my day job. Yeah.
Wow. And that's, once again, all through practicing and through passion. So, once again, you started off at such an early age when your father mentioned the words Houdini.
Yeah. So it just sort of happened. I fell into it, and there's no one else in my family that are performers, so I'm sort of the black sheep of the family and the middle child. And
what do they say? So, do they come and watch you?
My dad's been to see a show. My mum has just recently come and seen a show, but she's a nurse and she's very squeamish about the things that I'm doing.
She's a nurse.
She's a nurse, yeah. So when I was like learning to sew as well, I was asking all these weird questions and stuff like that. But yeah, they know what I do. We just prefer not to have to watch it.
That's fair enough. We've got some more questions in a minute, and we're going to be doing some more sword swallowing in just a bit. But just a recap, for those who have just joined us on Facebook Live, very good afternoon. Welcome. I'm joined today by multi-Guinness World Records title holder, Mr. Johnny Strange. And how fitting is the name?
Yeah.
Quite fitting, yeah?
Yeah, it does the job.
Johnny has, as I said before, he's got multi-Guinness World Records title to his name. I wrote them out. Oh no, where have I written them? They're all, so once again, just to tell you the ones that Johnny, just off the top of my head, which Johnny had, most eggs broken with a whip in 1 minute. Okay, we're going down. The heaviest vehicle, let's in fact just touch upon him. So most eggs broken with a whip in 1 minute. How long ago was this?
That was this year, actually. It was for CBBC's Officially Amazing.
Yeah.
That was really fun to do.
Yeah, I bet it was. I bet it was cracking. It was.
It was
That one. That was a really poor one. Sorry, I didn't even know it was coming myself. And then we've got your next one, which is the heaviest vehicle pulled by pierced ears. So, just explain about that, because once again, if you go onto either Guinness World Records website, guinnessworldrecords.com, or onto Johnny's website, or there's even a picture in the 2016 edition, isn't it? 2016.
It's the 2017.
Oh, 2017 book. I stand corrected. I can tell you the page. It's on page 136. So we'll show you a picture of that, and he actually pulled an aircraft. We've just got a 136 it is. So once again, we're going to be looking at lots of Johnny's tricks, and actually this is part 1 of Facebook Live with Johnny. Put into your calendars December the 18th, because fingers crossed, hopefully Johnny's going to be aiming to break some new Guinness World Records titles, where he joins us down in London. But once again, this is part 1, part 2 to come 18th December, and there you go, on page 137. You can see Johnny, this is one of his Guinness World Records titles, which once again, the heaviest vehicle pulled by pierced ears. And once again, it's pretty special. And that's an aircraft, and that was 677.8 kilograms, 1,494.5 pounds, which is incredible. And you had to pull it for 20 meters.
I did, yeah. Very uncomfortable.
Really?
Yeah.
You surprised me.
Not something that I want to do again anytime soon, really.
Wow.
Yeah.
And obviously, well, that was one of the records. Now, obviously, your family, you spoke about your parents, and any of your other family members, anyone sort of, people must just get very nervous about what you do for a living, and scared and frightened. And
no, do you know, it's weird. Ever since I became a professional performer, I get invited to all the weddings, all the birthday parties, and it's always a case of, did you bring any swords? And I'm like, oh no, I must have, left it,
I imagine you're, just show us your party trick.
Yeah,
Which one do you want? Thank you, Caroline. That was for you. Thank you. I'm not sure on Johnny's relationship status. That's why I didn't ask the other one. We've got, that's a good question. So this is going to be a 2-part question from me. So we've got Ramesh. Thank you, Ramesh. What was your age when you tried it the first time? So let's go with the swords the first time. What was your age?
Well, I'm 27 now.
When are you 27? Tell me.
Well, I'm 27 now.
When are you 28?
I'm 28 tomorrow.
Oh, what are the chances of that? 28 tomorrow. Sorry, I just thought I'd drop that on it. Oh, yeah, so when did you first start sword swallowing?
So about 5 years ago. But 3 years prior to that, I was already sort of researching, reading a lot of like medical journals and talking to people. Like I said, there's not many sword swallowers in the world, so I was already, picking people's brains and things like that. And of course, my mum is a nurse, so I was, learning and things like that. Quite a few years when I first started to sort of say, right, this is what I want to learn.
Wow, and it's just dedication.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna actually have another look at the sword swallowing. So if you want to show us another few of your instruments, we'll get back to your questions in just a little while. Once again, we're here. We're in the north part of the UK. We're in a lovely town called Blackburn. We're joined by a very lovely gentleman, Mr. Johnny Strange. And now you actually perform this at a freak show. They're called freak shows, aren't they?
Yes, so live shows, which is also a freak show, sideshow, it's sort of circus kind of vibe about it. This particular sword, this is a very nice sword because this sword has no handle. So this is a great way to prove to people. I'm sure there's going to be people out there that when they see sword swallowing just don't believe that it's real, and that's fine. I didn't believe it was real either when I first saw it.
I didn't either, but now I do.
Well, this sword, like I say, has no handle, so there is nowhere for the blade to go except from straight down my throat. So hopefully this will prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that sword swallowing is in fact very real.
Okay, so once again, Johnny Strange just showing us one of we've got a whole array of things which Johnny's going to show us on the table, just exactly what he does for, oh my God, every time. So it's gone all the way down, and then he pulls it back up. So there's no hand of tricky, it's one complete blade, and it goes. I can hear people clapping at home now and in the office. Okay. Johnny, so obviously there's got to be a limit. How long can the blade be? Tell us that.
It sort of depends on how tall you are, really. I've got a friend that I know of in America, another sword swallower called George the Giant, and he's a giant. He's really tall, so obviously he can, swallow some really long blades and things like that. But it all depends on each individual person, really.
Wow. Well, and we've got one more sword just on the table here. So George the Giant. What a great name! I love it. So that's your second sword. Obviously, this was the first one you started. So we just got show us about this sword. I recognise that sword. Isn't it from?
Well, this sword we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do what's called the drop, which means I will once again place the blade at the back of my throat. I will then, carefully controlling my esophagus, allow the blade to drop. At that point, I will fold my body in half. I will turn and ask you to place your hand on the handle.
Nobody starts in on this. Okay.
Place your hand on the handle and slowly slide the blade from my body.
Is there any way I'm going to cause danger to you?
There could be.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
A couple of rules.
Yes. Yeah. I like rules.
Don't do this.
I'll do my best not to.
Don't do this. Just nice and slow.
Can we also tell everyone, don't try this at home?
Yeah. Once again, just to reiterate on my further point, this is serious stuff. This is dangerous. There is I promise you now, there are no gimmicks in any way, shape or form. Johnny has trained for this for years. It's a solid steel blade, and I promise you it is. And please, please, please do not try this at home. Sorry, Ollie, what's that?
Get everyone to like and share this.
Yeah, because this is pretty special. So obviously Ollie didn't get the memo. Ollie, just show us what you're wearing today.
Oh.
Let me just take the camera. So Ollie didn't get the memo that it was all blue today. Ollie's going to Hawaii for a day. But you look good.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Okay, so back to the serious business. This is it. This is Sword Swallowing with Mr. Johnny Strange, and I'm going to put down the microphone because I want to use both hands. Okay. Right, so just...
Can we just recap quickly as well?
Yeah, once again, just while Johnny's lubing the palate. You must have a dodgy diet. So my name is Pee Wee Wiggins. We're live from Blackpool Town. We're in the north of England, and this is Johnny Strange. We are on Facebook Live, and the date is, it's the 5th today. It's the 5th. It's the 5th today. Isn't it the 5th? I don't know, because your birthday's the 6th. So it's the 5th today, 5th of December, and Mr. Johnny Strange is showing us exactly, well, just a few of the nuggets of what John has up his sleeve, and this is sword swallowing, and I'm part of this, so I'm going to put the microphone down. Good luck. Once again, like, share, any questions you have you'd like to ask Johnny, please pop them in the comments box below. I'll be back in just a tingle. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And then we go for the drop. Oh! 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 Wow.
There it is.
Wow. Bravo. Wow. And where do we got down to there? Well, that's obviously in your belly.
Yeah. So this is...
That's from the inside.
That's breakfast.
Wow.
That's my inside.
And let's just show how far that went down to just on the outside.
It's about here. It's not the longest blade I own.
Okay, it is the longest blade you own? It's
not
not.
the longest.
Oh, how long?
Well, up to 2 feet is the longest blade that I've got.
2 feet is long. 2 feet is the longest blade you've got.
Yeah, but this one's kind of nice because I can do the drop with it. It's not too heavy. Obviously, if it's too heavy, it'll sort of smash your teeth. So it's always nice to not lose your teeth.
Yeah, I find that a bonus here and there. Have you ever, I mean, perhaps, let's just say you had a chicken curry, you've done the sword swallowing, you've come up with a nugget of chicken on there. Has that ever happened?
No, that's never like a kebab or yeah. No, that's never happened.
What else is there?
So, right, what else have we got? So, we've done the swords, we can always touch upon them a little bit later on. Obviously, we've got a drill, or...
we actually have this.
Okay. So if you ever think about taking up a little bit of DIY, we've got a little question here before we go into...
Josh.
This is from Josh. Thank you, Josh Cox. How do you prepare the body and mind for such talent? Happy early birthday. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.
So how do you prepare the body and mind?
For sword swallowing?
Yes.
It's just a lot of practice. I mean, it's conditioning your esophagus, conditioning your your gag reflex and your stomach, and just a lot of practice. It's very difficult to explain. It's a very strange sensation, and there's a lot happening. But once you sort of get your head around it, and you can sort of break it down and go with it, and yeah, very difficult question to answer, actually. Yeah.
Well, a great question, Josh. And speaking of just getting your head round it, let's segue nicely into this one. Okay, so thank you very much. I'll be here all day. Thank you. So we've got some more questions coming in, but just before we do... Oh, hang on. What did you feel? Yeah, let's just touch... What did it feel like the first time you put the sword down your throat? So just talk us through that process just quickly.
So the first time I actually managed to swallow the sword all the way, it was... Well, I mean, I've been trying for 3 years, so it was, a big sort of sigh of relief, because... Believe it or not, even if someone wanted to sword swallow, they might not be able to. Everybody's slightly different, everybody's organs are in a slightly different place, and your esophagus isn't a perfect straight line. So it was kind of a big relief that I spent all this time practicing and learning how to do something that I might actually not be able to do, like physically. So yeah, it was great. Also, it sort of dawned on me that the feeling, the sensation that you get is... I can only describe as if you've ever swallowed, like if you ever drank some really ice cold water and you can feel it go all the way down, that's what the blade feels like. It's really bizarre, really strange.
Wow, wow.
Yeah.
But once again, just Johnny is a professional. He's been trained. He's trained all his body. So we're just going to move into something completely different. Thank you for your questions on the sword swallow, and keep coming in. And as I said, if we can get through chances, you're going to be prepared to be grossed out. Get ready to get ready to share. Get ready for questions. What have we got? Well, what have we got here to start off with?
Well, this is a classic sideshow stunt. This is called the human blockhead. What we have is a solid steel nail and a hammer. And I'm about to hammer this nail into the centre of my skull.
He is. I promise you. Okay. Oh, I feel sick. Okay. Oh, no, okay. Right. I was going to say, I didn't see that one in rehearsal. Okay.
Now, the centre of the skull is actually right here.
Oh. 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 This is real, I promise you. That nail is solid.
There we go. That's how you hammer a nail into your face. And if you wonder what it feels like, it kind of feels like you're being punched in the head from the inside out.
Wow, how appealing. I may try this. No, I won't, because I'm not trying this at home. Are you okay to talk while that's there?
Yeah.
Please help me with questions quick. What made you try this? Let's go with that one first.
Well, this is a classic. This has been around forever.
This is the weirdest interview I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, I mean, it's been around, seems like forever. And it's, if you go to any sort of sideshow, any freak show, you'll probably see someone hammer a nail up the nose. Yeah. And it really is real.
It really is real.
It really is up there. And of course, what goes in must come out. It's my favourite part. It's a part I like to call the extraction.
The extraction. Words are failing me at this precise moment in time. We've got just some lovely expressions just coming in. Oh man! Oh no!
Is that real? No trick.
Yeah, is that real? No trick.
That's genuinely, yeah, it's all real, yeah.
I think your skull is empty, dude.
That's right, yeah.
Wow, it's just yeah. So if you think that was bad, so honestly, once again, as I'm standing here now, that is a solid nail, I promise you.
And don't try this at home, guys.
Yeah, do not try this at home. Once again, it's trained and been practicing, and question words are failing.
Yeah.
So we've done the nail.
We've done the nail.
Yeah.
Now it's time to bring out the big guns. So again, obviously, don't try what you're about to see, but I am about to attempt to drill a drill into the centre of my skull.
Ooh! Which I've heard a drill before, but that kind of freaked me out. Which did you do first, the hammering or the drill?
I actually went with the hammer the nail.
So you hammered the nail first.
Hammered the nail first, and now I've sort of moved on. I can do things like scissors, hooks, a power drill, knives and cutlery and all sorts of things. Yeah.
I bet the weddings are a right hoot when you're there. We've just got a fork here. Yeah. Okay. Well, let's get this.
Well, this is actually one of my favourites because it's so different, I think.
Quick questions. I guess this applies to everyone. What kind of advice would you give someone interested in becoming a sword swallower? But I guess you could apply it to what you're doing now as well.
Yeah, anyone that's sort of interested in the sideshow arts, the only advice I could give is start by juggling. Learn how to juggle, because it takes a long time. It takes some dedication, and stick with it. And from there, you can move on to all sorts of other things. But definitely don't try and teach yourself how to do these. Ask other people, talk to people, professionals in the industry. 'Cause that's the only safe way, sane way, how to do it.
Because you talk about your juggling. Now, obviously, once again, for those, that was a great question. Thank you, Paul. But so you started your juggling, but you actually juggle chainsaws, don't you? So you take everything to the extreme.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. But why not? If it's not dangerous and scary and exciting, then why bother? Just.
I'll stick to my golf and snooker. But I like that. So.
But yeah, I mean that's the whole thing about with Guinness as well. With the records, is I like to push myself. I like to try and learn new things, push boundaries, and do different things, and do things that hopefully people haven't seen before, and just sort of show them what's possible, and that it's real, and it's live, and it's funny, and it's entertaining, and it's scary, and it's everything all in one you know.
Amazing. And once again, just going back to your record list, you've got the most animal traps released on the body in 1 minute, the fastest time to break 16 concrete blocks on the body in 1 minute. You've got the record there. Just talk about that record there. Sorry, let me come over behind Ollie, sorry.
So this is, I actually got the Guinness World Record for cutting the most apples out of my mouth in 1 minute. It's sort of a two-part because I also had the other record for most apples chainsawed out of someone else's mouth in 1 minute as well.
Wow. Incredible. Sorry, Ollie, just can't come. So let's just go back onto this one. I'm sure there's lots of people hanging on their lunch hour for this. So let's go back with the drill. We've just hammered the... Is that a 6-inch now? What is that?
I think that's a man's 9-inch, probably a 6-inch, 7-inch nail, yeah.
I'm terrible at measurements, but let's
remind people.
Yeah, so just before we do this, once again, I know we've got people. Louise Thomas just joined. Hi, Louise. So we've got our Johnny Strange here. We're on Facebook Live. It's great to have everybody tuning wherever you are in the world, wherever you are, whether you're at your desk or your office, or whether you're on the train, on the tube, on the bus, whatever. But this is Johnny Strange. He's the multi-Guinness World Records title holder. We've been doing sword swallowing. We've been hammering nails into the centre of the skull. Johnny has the most weird and wackiest Guinness World Records title to his name. It's his birthday tomorrow.
It is.
He is Mr. Happy. It's great to have him here. And we're now going to do the drilling.
Crystal has said this is the most craziest thing you've ever seen, I think.
Ever done. Oh, sorry, what was the most courageous thing? What is the most craziest thing you've ever done?
I'm not too sure. I think certainly the most sort of scariest stunt that I do, for me, is still chainsaw dribbling. It's still chainsaw dribbling. It doesn't matter how often I do it, how many times I do it. It's still really scary because it's real. You really can, lose a hand, lose some fingers, and things like that. Yeah, it's something you only get wrong once.
Yeah, I'm sure, or 10 times.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you eat before sword swallowing? One last question. No eating.
I don't eat at all before sword swallowing.
How many hours before?
So a rule of thumb is an hour, but I tend not to. All day until afterwards.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's do this. Let's get this over and done with. So we've done the nailing through the centre of the brain. We're now going to be drilling through the centre of the brain. Please do not try this at home. I can't emphasise this enough. Good luck. Here we go. Oh,
Little lick for luck.
Lick for luck. Do not try this. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh.
You're looking at me like I'm mental. You're looking at me
Was
like
that
I'm
not?
mental. No. Here
Could
we
that
go.
have got? Ooh.
Here we go.
Okay. Lindsay's having having kittens at the moment. Oh.
Where?
Don't say you.
It's stuck. It's stuck. Luckily, there's a button. Yeah, just here. For this exact situation. Here we go, reversing back out.
Did you? It's stuck.
Yeah. Here we go, reverse out. And in.
Wow, bravo. You should see cameraman Ollie's face. He's like, okay. Right. I'm just really looking at that when it came out. Wow. So the questions, have you ever been seriously injured with that one? We spoke about the swords one, but have you ever been injured with the last two?
No, never had any serious injuries. Obviously there's occupational hazards. If you're practicing whip cracking, you might, catch yourself or something like that, but nothing serious, never been hospitalised or anything like that. But I do, like we mentioned earlier, it's my full-time job, so I take it seriously as in for the job. So I practice every day, always learning, always sort of, rehearsing, always writing new material and sort of trying to expand my skill set and things like that. So I do work every single day, on top of it,
Yeah, once again, I guess you just can't let anything... So, do you get colds?
Yes, I do get cold.
Can you still do this when you've got a cold?
No, you get no. Well, you can. It's just not great, you know.
Not ideal. Quite disgusting. Can you still smell things?
Yes and no. Mostly no. No, I've got a really bad sense of smell. I don't know if it's from like all the fire eating and fire breathing, or the amount of stuff I put on my nose and drills and scissors and all sorts of things like that. But yeah, I've not got the best sense of smell.
And can you do that on both sides, or is that one side only?
It's one side only. I've actually got a broken nose. You can't really tell from the outside, but I've got a deviated septum. So basically, I can't breathe out of this side, but I can put a power drill up this side.
I mean, I know what I'd rather do.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So we've had. This is the weirdest and wonderful I've ever. Tomorrow we're going to be doing archery. That sounds a little bit. So we've done the nails. Sorry, we've done the swords. We've done the hammers and nails. We've done the drill. This is once again we spoke about a record title that you have to this. It's most eggs whipped. I can't remember the title. Most eggs broken with a whip in 1 minute.
Yes, that's the one.
Okay. Show us what you do with this. Discuss.
Okay. So this is a 4-foot nylon bullwhip, and a bullwhip, yeah. Kind of like the type that Indiana Jones used to use. And I'm going to attempt to break some targets. I'm going to show you what it looks like. But before I do that, I just want to let you hear the noise that it makes when you crack a whip. Okay. So that's So the sound you hear is actually the tip of the whip breaking the sound barrier. So it's traveling at over 700 miles an hour.
Serious?
Seriously, yeah. Which means you really don't want to get hit by one because it really hurts. But
wow.
If you practice and you can do something a little bit.
Have you ever caught yourself with that?
I have. Yeah.
Have you?
I have.
Drew's asked, how did you learn to do this?
Yeah. Again, this is all self-taught. Just a lot of researching online, and again, with sort of anything that I do, it's all showing respect for the props and the stunt itself. Whip cracking's been around for forever. So if you're interested in whip cracking, there's all sorts of little groups and things like that you can join, and people all meet up and crack whips and learn tricks and have a lot of fun.
Who inspired you to do this as well?
I don't know if I've got anyone that sort of inspired me to do whip cracking. It's just one of those classic impalement art. It's kind of like knife throwing or that sort of thing. And it's just really fun to do,
Right, well let's have a look. Show us what you can do with it. So, once again, and this is the bull whip, did you say?
This is the bull whip,
Bull whip. Okay, so good luck. I'm going to stand over here, so if you want to say anything, I'll come over to you. Okay, so move away. Go away.
What's the best angle for
Yeah,
you?
where's the best place for me to stand?
You'll be all right there. So I'm going to go this way.
Where's the best place for me to stand?
You're
More
right
okay,
there,
that's
yeah.
good. More importantly.
Here we go.
Okay.
That's one target. We can go a little bit.
Let's just do that again. Can we do that again? Okay, so this is in Johnny's hand. And what is this? Is this a dog biscuit?
This is just a dog biscuit. Where's that come from?
I don't know.
This is just a whip cracking target that I use.
Okay, right, it's a whip cracking target. Okay,
Yeah.
right, so it's in your hand.
Yeah.
You're now going. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Mine and Ollie's faces. Okay. Right.
We can make it a bit harder.
We'll make it a little bit harder.
I'm
Okay.
coming closer if you don't mind.
Okay.
We can go behind the back.
Down here?
Why would you
I
do
wouldn't
that?
Stand just there. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. Here we go.
Are you doing it behind your back?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Wow. And so you're catching that at the speed of sound, is that right? Or is that pretty much?
Yeah, so the whip crack is the speed of sound and it's cutting through the target.
Wow. Okay.
We can make it a little bit harder again.
Let's do a little bit harder again.
Here we go, let's go to the target. This one's going to be off the top of my head.
It's going to be off the top of your head. Why would you do this? Why would you do this?
Yeah, you might want to step back just a little bit. Here we go.
Lindsay, look away now.
We can do a little bit better, I think. We can do a little bit better than that.
Okay.
There we go. That's pretty close. You see how close?
Wow. Yeah, I'm just. That was pretty close. We've got wows, we've got smiles, we've got the Magiccio Man. What will be the next record attempting? Okay. Yeah, okay.
Wow. We've actually got one more target.
Mm-hmm.
How brave are you feeling?
Not very. I was feeling really brave last week.
We should like and share and comment if you think that we should do a little double act with this target.
I pulled the sword out. That was my. Yeah. Okay. Just tell me. Yeah.
Okay. What I want you to do is hold the target.
Yep.
In your mouth. So the target. The target in the mouth. Mm-hmm. What we're going to do is assume the position.
Is there any way that I can not be here by the end of this?
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. Okay. I'll hold on to this. So what we'll do is assume the position, which is target in the mouth, hands behind your back, leaning forward, with your chin up. Absolutely perfect. Here we go.
I'm going to try and get better angles so I can see.
So you're just a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Now, whatever you do, don't move. Can't have it go wrong again. Don't worry, don't worry. I saw this on YouTube. I'm sure it'll be fine. Here we go. I think you've been very brave. we'll stop it there, yeah?
And I've got a big nose as well, so that was getting close to my nose. That's incredible. And I mean, well, I know, joking aside, but have you ever caught somebody's nose?
No, never. But like I say, I practice a lot. Always, whip cracking targets, and my neighbours, they're kind of used to it now. Or I'm either in the back garden or in the park or something like whip cracking and. Yeah.
Do you? I mean, when you're practicing in the garden, in the back or in the park, do you sort of start to get a bit of an audience sort of around you? People come sort of find out what you're doing.
Kids tend to sort of come up and they want to watch, and adults don't tend to be brave enough to come and want to stand and watch, but they'll might do a couple of laps around the park with the dog or something, and just keep an eye on what I'm doing and what's he up to,
I can only imagine it. It's incredible what you do, and say. I just know that you're going to go on to bigger and better and greater things. Ollie, we got any more questions?
Yes, there's a few more. We'll do a few more. Okay.
So among all the acts that actually performed, which one took you more time to master? So I mean, which one probably took longer to perfect? How do you sort of do for your act?
I'd say the sword swallowing. So I had to practice every day for 3 years before I finally managed to swallow my first sword. So it takes a lot of dedication, it takes a lot of time, a lot of patience, a lot of research. So that one probably took me the longest. But other than that, I suppose chainsaw juggling, because it's not something you don't just pick up a chainsaw and juggle. Again, you start with juggling balls and then clubs and then knives and fire and build up to it, just learning, practicing tricks, and just getting used to it and just clocking up the hours of rehearsal time.
Wow, it's unreal what we're seeing today. So what will be the next Guinness World Records attempt that you'll be attempting? So you said earlier that this is part one of our friend Johnny Stranger's adventures with Guinness World Records Facebook Live. He's going to be rejoining us on the 18th of December, where he will be attempting some Guinness World Records titles. But do you know what they'll be, or are there any sort of particularly you'd like to look at in the future?
I can't mention what they are just yet. I'm going to leave that as a surprise, but I expect to see more bull whips, more whip cracking going on.
Wow, fantastic. Well, Ollie, we got any more questions, buddy?
That is, we'll do the last question, which will be, have you ever wanted to join the circus?
Oh, good question. Have you ever wanted to join a circus?
Yes, I did want to join the circus. It's funny, my dad actually, he said he always expected me to go off and join this, when I was a kid, he expected of me. But no, I never did. And I just, I don't know why I didn't. It just sort of took a slightly different path. I mean, it does sort of weave in and out of circus what I do. There are some elements of circus, and I do perform with circus performers and things like that. But I just took a bit more of a sort of dangerous or that sort of route with it. Something a
a bit different, you know.
A different avenue. Once again, if you want to check out more on Mr. Johnny Strange, he's got his website, of course. He's got loads and loads of YouTube clips on there, lots of interviews on there. So check him out. He's an incredible guy, and lovely to have your company today. Also, if you'd like to take part in any Guinness World Records attempts, you too can be a Guinness World Records title holder. Make your way onto GuinnessWorldRecords.com. You can apply for records, even if it doesn't exist. There are ways that you can actually make a Guinness World Records title exist yourself. Thanks very much indeed. Like us, share us. Once again, we'll see you tomorrow. We're going to be at an archery event tomorrow, but also later on today, we're going to be over to California, where we're going to be the most balls putted into a target. And once again, we look forward to your company then as well. Thank you to Mr. Johnny Strange. Thank you very much indeed. Top man. Thanks, Ollie. We'll see you a little bit later on. Bye for now.